In 2006, Bethesda gave us The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, and 5 years later they gave us The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, but what exactly changed over those 5 years when it comes to attention to detail? Or any other crazy comparison I could think of? Let's begin. Beginning with a simple comparison, in Oblivion, whenever you take your bow and you shoot your arrow straight up into the air, it takes a while, but eventually that arrow will fall out of the sky and land on the ground in front of you. Whereas in Skyrim, whenever you do this exact same thing, the arrows do not ever fall out of the sky, which I find interesting. With this next comparison, I wanted to see in Oblivion if the innkeeper would react if I went into the inn and started casting fire spells. But after a while of casting spells, I came to the conclusion that she wasn't going to react at all. But then I hit her with one and she got kind of upset. But then some other dude from the back of the inn decided he wanted to fight. And to be honest, he kind of got his ass kicked at first. But he ultimately got her in the end and just kind of walked off. So next I went to Skyrim to test this experiment and immediately got different results.
What are you doing? Knock it off with the flames already.
As she did not like that I cast fire spells at her bar. You know how in Skyrim you can put baskets on people's heads? Well, I wanted to see if they are arrow-proof. Starting with Oblivion, and it turns out you can't really put baskets on people's heads in this game. So I settled with putting a painter's palette up against this fender. And as it turns out, it's completely arrow-proof. But I found it more interesting when I took something that I knew wasn't arrow-proof, like a shirt, and laid it against an NPC and shot it, and it turned out to be arrow-proof as well. So I guess in Oblivion, all objects in the environment are arrow-proof. So next I tested this in Skyrim, and as you can see, you can put the baskets of pots on top of the vendor's heads. And as you can see, these are arrow-proof as well.
We carry just about anything you could need.
And with this next comparison, I wanted to test the ragdoll physics when fighting large creatures to see if they would really send you flying. So in Oblivion, I decided to test this with the Gatekeeper, and I guess he did send me back a little bit. While in Skyrim, I decided to test this against a giant, or giants, and as you can see, they set me into orbit. So it is a little different. So in the Elder Scrolls games, as you know, you can actually pick up objects in the environment. But I wanted to test if you picked up something in the store, is it actually stealing if you don't put it into your inventory? And as you can see in Oblivion, it definitely is.
Culture. How dare you steal from me?
Stop right there, criminal scum!
So next I tried this out in Skyrim, and as you can see, the store owner doesn't care at all if you pick up anything in the store, as long as you don't put it into your inventory.
You can't take that!
And moving on to the next comparison, and I wanted to see the differences, what would happen to your character if you stood in fire between the two games, and as you can see in Oblivion, it's very slowly taking down my health, and ultimately, it kind of hilariously killed me.
Ha!
Whereas in Skyrim, whenever I tested this, the flames didn't hurt my character at all. I even tried it in the Giants' bonfires, but it didn't affect me either. Now with this next comparison, I wanted to see what would happen if I committed a crime and then fled to the bottom of a lake to see if the guards would still confront me underwater. So after shooting the guard, I ran into the water, and once the guard got close, I submerged myself, and what do you know?
Stop right there, criminal scum! Nobody breaks the law on my watch.
But the first time I attempted this in Skyrim, I accidentally got caught, and while the guard was confronting me, he literally took an arrow to the knee. It took a while to actually get the guards to the water, but once we got there, it seemed like the guards didn't want to actually enter the water, so I just kind of started floating away. But eventually they started to come at me, so I went underwater.
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people.
And you know what? It's cool to see some Oblivion's quirky DNA surviving in Skyrim. And now with this next comparison, it was pretty simple. I wanted to see what would happen if I entered a store and just started making a mess of the store owner's inventory to see how they would react. And as you can see in Oblivion, the store owner doesn't care at all, as long as I don't pick it up, because that's a crime. So then I entered a store in Skyrim to try the same thing and immediately got different results.
Watch what you're doing!
Because he knows he's the one that has to pick all this shit up. So next I wanted to see if I committed a crime in the streets, could I flee into a church and claim sanctuary? So I shot this chick and started heading into the church, but then a strange fight broke out. But then after the fight, everyone just kind of moved on, except for the dogs who started howling next to their fallen owner, which made me sad. So I tried again and then started running towards the church. And after a while of being inside, I actually thought I got away with it and the guards wouldn't follow me in.
The muscles on you.
So I started praying at the altar, and then...
It's all over, lawbreaker!
So then I went to test this out in Skyrim, and once getting inside the church, the response time was much quicker than it was in Oblivion.
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense?
So in Oblivion, if you see something laying in a chair and you go to sit in that chair, you usually get pretty funny results. So I tested this with some other objects I found in the environment. Why did it hit it so hard? So then I moved on to Skyrim to see if these things would happen here as well. But as you can see here in Skyrim, your character just kind of clips through all the objects, which is a bit of a shame. And with this next comparison, I wanted to see what would happen if I went into an inn and drank as much beer as I possibly could to see how it would affect my character. And as you can see in Oblivion, after a few drinks of alcohol, the game shuts you down and doesn't let you drink anymore. So next I tried this in Skyrim, and there's absolutely no limit to the amount of alcohol you can drink in that game. But I do wish you could see the effects of the alcohol on your character, because seeing the Dragonborn stubble around would be pretty hilarious. And with my final comparison, I wanted to see if the beggars would react to me dropping items of value in the environment around them. So I started by dropping a bunch of food, and as you can see, he doesn't really care. I even tried it with some booze, but still no reaction. So next I tested this in Skyrim by dropping literal gold bars in front of the beggar, and he didn't react at all, but a guy behind me did yell at me for littering, which I thought was kind of funny. Well guys, you made it to the end. Thank you for watching this direct comparison on the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, one of my favorite games of all time, versus the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, two fantastic games. And I feel like I usually say with these comparison videos, I'm not trying to say that one of these games is way better than the other or anything like that. And I feel like it's pretty clear, at least with the comparisons I made in this video, that I'm clearly having fun with both these games, and I hope you guys enjoy them as much as I do. And if you found yourself enjoying the video, be sure to drop a like on it, because it helps the little video reach new fans. And as I always say, that's always a great thing. And I also make cool new videos like the one you're watching right now every single week, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future content, and be sure to let me know down in the comments, which of these comparisons was your favorite, and also let me know what I did wrong, because sometimes I make mistakes. And also be sure to let me know down below what cool comparisons you want to see in the future, because I love reading your guys' comments, and I often find myself inspired by what you guys leave below. But guys, that's all I have for this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.